Welcome to the Cinemetrics Technologies Syncrify installation tutorial video. Before I get started, I would like to take a little bit to explain about how Cinemetrics Syncrify works and show you how to prepare your machines in order to get Syncrify running. An important thing to note is that Syncrify comes in two components. There's the server component, which is the machine where you would like the information being backed up to reside, and the client, which is installed on the source machine that will connect to the server and will be the machine that pushes or pulls data from or to the server. So in a typical environment, the Syncrify client will push information to the Syncrify server and also restore information by pulling data from the Syncrify server to the client when needed. So let's take a look at how to prep the machine for the server. The first thing you will want to do is decide what port you want Syncrify server to listen on. By default, this is port 5800. Once you decide which port you would like to use, the first step is to configure your system and network firewall to allow traffic on your desired port. Once my firewall is configured, my next step is to create my backup directory. This will be the location where all of my client's data that is being backed up will be stored. You can have multiple directories, however we strongly recommend that these be local to the server machine. Once my machine's configured, I'm going to run setup.exe. You can get this from the cinemetrics.com website under Syncrify downloads. Syncrify will open a web browser and take you to its web interface. On this machine, it's localhost, but you may see either the machine name or host name. The first step is to create an administrator password. After I create the password, I have the option of unchecking or checking this box that will control if I can log in as an admin from only this machine or from any machine. You can always change this after installation. Now I will enter in my admin's email address. I'm going to leave this box checked, but it is important that you configure SMTP settings so that you get backup reports and other important emails. And now we see the connection URL as well as admin login. Now that the initial setup is complete, Syncrify will prompt us to log in when we go to our URL. The first time that the administrator logs in, we will be prompted to register our product. On this page, we will enter in our information and click Next. Now that we're in our admin console, our first step is to create users. At the top ribbon, we will see Manage Users tab. Click this. On this page, we will see an Add New User button here. Clicking this will open up the user creation page. On this page, we will enter in the username, the user email, and their password. These are important for the clients to be able to connect to the server and begin their backup process, as well as for users to log into the web interface. Finally, we will enter in the repository path. We can manually enter this path or click the Browse button to select a location from the File Explorer. In the beginning of this video, we created a repository path already, so I'm just going to select that one. So once our user is created, we will see it listed here, and we can click on the Modify button at any point to change any of the information. Our server is ready to go, and we've added a user. So now let's switch over to the client machine and get Syncrify client set up. Alright, so now that we're on our client machine, our first step is to connect back to the server, which we do through the connection URL we created at startup. So I'm going to open up a web browser and type in that URL. On the right side, we will see the quick links, and we're going to choose the download client option. Now I'll select the appropriate client for my operating system and download it. Once I've downloaded the setup, I'm going to run it and proceed through with the setup wizard. On first run, Syncrify will also create a default profile. We'll have another video explaining how to configure as well as add and delete profiles. Our first step is to delete the default selections. Carefully right-click each top-level folder and select Remove Selected Entry. This next window is very important, as it's asking us if we want to delete data from the server. If I delete a top-level folder, the server will delete all the data stored from that folder and its subfolders. So make sure when you delete that it's okay to remove this data. Now I'm going to right-click in the Repository Explorer and click Add Folder and File. So I'm going to choose the files that I want to back up and just add them to the profile. And these will be my top level folders. When I click the drop-down arrow next to the folder, I will see that it has several drop-down subdirectories. You can go through these and select specific files or folders if you want to exclude or include them by right-clicking and selecting Exclude. And once I have added the appropriate files that I want to back up, I'm going to go to my Authentication tab, which you can see here, and enter in the login information. On this page, I'm going to make sure that my server URL is correct and enter in the username and password that I created for this user earlier. Once that's done, I'm going to click the green test arrow, and if everything works, I will see green check marks. So now that everything's ready to go, I'm going to click the Save button at the bottom to save my profile and click Backup. I can also go to the Scheduler tab, which you'll see here, and specify automatic backups if I wanted to. Okay, so now that the backup is finished, I'll have the option of seeing a condensed log that will show me how much data got backed up and if there were any errors, where those errors occurred. So now I'm going to jump back over to the server machine so that I can see what happened to this data. On the server machine, I'm going to navigate to the repository I created earlier, where I will now see my username as a folder. Within this folder, I will see all of my profiles as folder names, and within these folders will be the data that I have just backed up. We have other videos that you can check out on our site that will show you a more in-depth look at our other features, and as always, you can reach our support department via email at support@cinemetrics.com or by phone at 1-609-750-0007. Thanks for watching.